here. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Oh, there's Jane. Let me, all right. Let's wait till she jumps in here. Hi, Jane.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you all so much for being here. There's so much going on. I'm really excited about all the momentum happening. And we had a successful event last week, almost 300 people in attendance, mostly executive level leadership of the arts, some elected officials from both sides of the border. We had some business leaders there too, which was kind of part of the point, right? Because it's one of our two fundraising opportunities that we have to try to secure sponsorships. We have another one coming up on July 25th that we're going to be pushing for. And that one is going to be way more casual than this one. So there won't be a lot of talking, which I hated that I had to do that, but it just had to happen. I know that I lost some people and then they went off and schmoozed, and that was totally fine. But I did see the faces of the artists light up when I got to talk about them. So it was really important that I had to mention, obviously, everyone involved that was there. But this next one on July 25th is going to be kind of various chef stations, and all of the chefs, and these are like really notable chefs in the region. They're going to be select their own artist that they're inspired by and create an appetizer inspired by that work of art or that experience. One of them has already selected, they're doing Fashion Week San Diego. So that'll be really fun. And by then, in July 25th, a lot of the performers will already have their work more developed. So we'll get to see some dance performances and maybe like a little one act or a little short scene or something from one of the plays. And various other experiences that we'll put together, but it'll be really fun. So going into, I have an agenda,
Can I just,
and I did get your notes, Tony.
weigh in on something?
Yes, please.
So for just a little bit of feedback, like as you said, there was a lot of talking, you lost a lot of people. I would just be clear at the very top of any speech that you really let people understand what this event is, because the people that I was with, by the time they walked away, they still didn't know what was happening on September 2nd. It was sort of, it was never really, they're like, so why I don't understand what's happening. It was, World Design Capital and proclamations and artists talking and the braiding, and then it still wasn't. So I just, to avoid that confusion, I would start all your talks with, this is a one-day thing, here's what's happening, here's all the other ancillary things. But
yeah, I thought I did say that in my speech, that this is a one-day takeover of this corridor from here to the trolley.
I don't
Maybe
know,
they didn't get to hear that part.
Maybe they were start coming in. 3 people missed that message, and maybe it was that they came late. So if you said it, yay, because I was like, what? I can't believe she wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I absolutely said it. Maybe I said it like right at the top, so I guess I missed it.
So maybe they missed it. So that's good. Okay, I just had to mention that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I want to get into agenda, and I have some of the points that you emailed us to, so we can hit those. So we're 3 months out this week, and that's terrifying. And I just want to remind you, because we're working with these wonderful festival producers, and they're such pros, and we submitted the application, the permitting already, and they're managing that on our behalf. So they have all the relationships already with all the people, because they produce festivals all the time. I mean, just to give you an example, when we first met with these guys, Chip and Mike, many months ago about this, we had a very preliminary budget, set aside. And I think we budgeted like $3,000 for security. And that's what we sort of talked through, that was going to work. And now that budget has gone up to almost $10,000 for security. Now that we know the the actuals of everything. And
security or security and city police?
Security. Yeah, it seems like too much, it seems like a lot, but I don't know enough to know if that's true. But I mean, just to give you an example, and you'll be able to identify with this a lot, Sandy, is their budget for Taco Fest that they produced along the waterfront for security alone was $90,000.
Yeah.
So they're on another level right over there. And I just brought it up with them the other day because I'm like, look, I just want to remind you like who we are, right? You are who you are. We are this small organization, but what we're really good at is doing these mashup experiences where we're getting all of this creative community into one place at the same time. That's what we're really, really good at. And so we're leaning into that. But we're not this big multi-million-dollar festival production company, right? So we still have to, we're relying a lot on in-kind support to make this thing successful so that if we hit all our ticketing targets, right? If we sell the tickets that we need to sell, it will fund the second year. If we don't hit those targets, hi Linda, if we don't hit those targets, we won't have the funds to be able to produce this next year. So right now, 3 months out on Friday, I'm nervous, because I've never tried to sell thousands and thousands of tickets before. So that's where marketing fits into all of this, and you're so essential, all of you and all your expertise, to make this a success.
Without causing a politics or whatever, can I look at that security bid? That sounds really high to me, because in addition to that, you're going to have all the street closure costs,
Yeah.
the police that will be there, and the police end up doing a lot of security
Yeah.
things. So
yeah. So I have a meeting with Vivian Moreno's office, the councilwoman from that district, on June 9th. And my ask from her is going to be to provide police, EMTs, and street cleaning for us. Those are the 3 things that I'm asking for her, because, it's the first impression of her community from people who typically don't go visit this community. So she should be incentivized to want to provide that. But this is the roundabout number that they're hitting. They're like, I think we can get it under $10,000. And I'm like, oh my God, 10,000. That seems, I hope so. I mean, damn. But
really
they are putting together a formal security plan for us right now, and they're going to start bidding out. So I'll know soon. And I would love for you to look at that, Sandy, and provide your input. So I'll forward it to you when it's ready. Thank you for offering.
I think our walk security costs for 2 full days is around 14,000 or something. So it just sounds high for a one night event.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And that's because you guys have overnight, right?
We have overnight. We have 2 days. We have the Thursday, Friday. I mean, it's a lot. So it just, I'm not sure. I mean,
So-
we are very specific about where we're assigning security to be. And once you know about police, if there's going to be a police person there, you really don't need a security guard to stand next to them,
Right.
because the city will tell you have to have this many special event traffic controllers and this many uniform PD.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, and thank you for that feedback. I think that they're, this is a different community, it's Logan Heights. It does have its issues, and maybe that's their worry, is that they're, I don't know what I can't know what's in their head, but I'll forward it over to you, and we can.
I won't say anything to Mike, who I know really well, or anything, but maybe I can give some feedback to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so the press release, the save the date was distributed a while ago. Tony, maybe you can update us on the activity so far.
I have a Google sheet that I've sent you guys several times, but it's tracks everything. What I'm really looking for is, we're having the press preview, which to me is this sort of real kickoff for the media to really get them excited and to understand. So that's next week.
Yeah.
So some of the early stuff is linked up there, but I think the big push is going to happen. And it's on the agenda. I haven't seen your agenda, but where it is that you want to go over all that. I have lots of questions and
for the media preview, we can do that. We can,
Okay.
it's on here, but it's fine. We can hit that now if you want.
Yeah, so I have it on the Google, I don't know if you want to call it up, but we have the RSVPs. One of the things that I could use help with, and I think we talked about this, Susanna, is reaching out, especially to the Spanish language media.
Yeah.
And see, I don't know if you've received any RSVPs yet to that.
Juliana, did you?
No, I did send the invitation for next Wednesday on Tuesday, but I haven't received any RSVP yet or anyone with any questions.
Okay, after this meeting, I was gonna just send a reminder to my, 130 people that got invited. It's the important few versus the trivial many. I'm happy there. If it's 12 people, I'm happy with it. If it's the right 12 people. And on the list, it's San Diego Magazine, KPBS. I'm, have some good commitments. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I didn't know if we want to take time at this meeting, or maybe Susanna, we could do this separately about like, what is the agenda? What's the run of show for that morning? You and I
Yeah.
could talk about that when we meet next week.
Yeah, I think we should spend time together doing that.
Yeah, but what I'd love to do is get all the elements together that would be in the press kit. So what I think I sent over, again, probably not a group think, but the FAQs that need some fleshing out, and then running the numbers. How many groups? How many perform? Just get like a punch list of stats that I could put together on a nice one sheet. This many groups from Mexico. This many groups from the U.S. And then I'd put those documents. We'll clean those, make them look nice, and put them back in that Dropbox press kit. And what I'd love to hand out even that day, nobody wants a press kit anymore. At MCA, we've been giving thumb drives, but I would just like to give them a piece of paper, even if it's 4 up on a sheet we print out, that has the Dropbox link.
I was thinking we could create a QR code to send them to the
Yes,
press kit.
Perfect. Yeah, because I think everything's digital.
Yeah.
So you and I can go over what are the components in there, what needs to come out. So we want to go over all
I
that.
saw the sheet that you sent me, and a lot of that information looks like it was on the at the end of the press release on the quick the one sheet.
Okay.
So I think we can just copy paste a lot of that and then
Clean
add
it all up, taking out the trolley dances, etc.
Yeah.
We have a couple of artists that have RSVP. Again, I want to introduce them, but I don't want to take time out to honestly let them talk. But I think that they can be there, and it's such a small group that as we're walking, what I'd also love to be able to walk through, and we can talk about this in the media, is like, where are people going to be? Where's Malashop? So that as we're walking.
Yes, that's what they're getting. That's the
Yeah.
preview that they're getting, is that we know
Exactly.
that information now, and they'll get to actually visualize what is
Perfect.
actually happening.
And I think that's going to generate tons of coverage and excitement, and even for me to know.
So I don't know if they've RSVP'd to you, the artists, but to me, I know that San Diego Mesa College is there. Choque will be there. Cat Chu Phillips,
Can you
Conectarte.
add those to the sheet? Because I know they RSVP to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll add them in there.
On that Google, that it has 2 tabs. One is media
Oh, okay.
tracking, and the second is RSVP. So just add them, because that will be. And then will we have a volunteers, like a check-in table or something like you did at your VIP?
Juliana will be there, right? You'll be there on Wednesday the 14th?
Yep, I will be there.
Check-in person, and we have name tags.
Yeah.
Do they need to be like printed out, or can we?
No, I think the reason I like name tags is a lot of these people I've never met. They're digital, they're bloggers, they're radio people. So it helps, and then it helps us to have name tags. They could fill them out themselves.
Yeah, okay, good, because we
Can't
have
tell you
tons of
how many
those.
people go, oh, you're TRPR. Happens all the time.
Cool.
So yeah, and let's time it out when we have coffee. But again, the feeling like that is going to be the big push. 3 months is good. I mean, I've started working on projects in a closer timeline than 3 months. So I feel good about it. One of the things, am I early now? Go ahead.
Yeah, Tony, do you actually have an RSVP list already from the
Yes.
media?
It's in the shared
list?
PR folder.
Yeah, I think you guys all have access to that, by the way. So let me link you to it now so that you can just check out who's there.
Just so you know, I had reached out to Lisa Dieterich on Pitched Her Susanna as a feature. she said, Susanna, that she's on the press club with you and feels like it's a conflict of interest.
I
Yes,
know,
yes,
I'm trying to
saw that.
understand why that is. I mean,
I don't know either. I
That
didn't
was
agree.
that was very disappointing. Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't really feel like it was a conflict of interest. And you are
we're
sort
not,
of
we're,
the
the
face
thing is,
of
we're
it.
not we're not like just members of the press club, we're on the board together.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair. We have other, Pam Cragen's excited. One of the things that unfortunately, not what just happens, the fall arts preview comes out September 10th.
Yeah.
So, you know, we
I
wouldn't be
figured.
in that, but we'll be in August something. What I want to do as I start to learn more is what are the highlights? What are the top buzzworthy stories? I
Yeah.
had a note in an early meeting, maybe it was Linda, I can't remember, that had like an industry publication that they might be able to submit an article to a magazine. Was that you, Linda?
It was.
Yeah, what do you need to make that
I
happen?
wanted to bring that up. We own Art Business News, and I'd love to do an article, and then we would push it out on our blog and on our social media.
Thank you.
So we should
What
talk
do you
about
need
that.
to make that happen? Do you want to just give me a word count and I'll write it, or does it have to be business focused? How can we help you? Or how can you help us?
I think it would be fun if it was part interview, with Susanna, and and what it is and how it is, and then 1,500 words or so. Could be less, could be more, and some images.
Well, if you want to give us like 10 questions,
Sure, I can do that.
Susanna,
do that?
we can work on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Sure.
Awesome.
We can absolutely do that. I'll do that no later than Monday.
Thank you,
And so
Linda.
what our goal, are you monthly? How often do you put it out?
We're digital. We're
Oh.
every day. So we could even do something more. There could be an overview article, and then if we wanted to punch up the volume again, we could talk about something special. Some feature. And we could do that, 2 or 3 times. The other piece of it is that this just leads right into, Art San Diego in November. So
So from a business
it's
angle,
a little self-serving, but
well, that's fine. We all self-serve. So from a business
so we would love to
perspective,
do that.
the questions could be business-ish, but we also want like consumer question, like how do I get a ticket? That's a silly question.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you send that out, we'll get working on that. That would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So did you link up in a chat the Google Doc?
Oh, sorry, I was
No,
doing
that's
that.
okay, because
No,
I think
I have
it's
it right here. I'll text it right now.
obviously I have the major arts writers. I have, the people that you think about, the KPBSs. If you have others, for example, the Filipino press woman never responded.
Oh no,
Susanna,
not even with the second email I sent.
yeah, so I mean, again, if anyone can help, if you open a door, I will go crashing in. So if we could get some, if you have somebody on a targeted specific outlet that you know about, and you can do an intro for me and reach an editor, I'll take it from there. So I thought it was weird. I did a really great pitch.
There was another what's his name? So they run it to get it's two publications. They're both, one is in English for Filipino Americans, the other one's in Tagalog. And so they'd have to translate. Obviously, we don't have a Tagalog person that can translate, I don't think, unless Kat maybe can help us if she speaks Tagalog.
But
anyway, but they have a huge following in the city of National City. Susan.
Yeah, I put
another guy.
Her name's in the spreadsheet. It's in there.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
I have it. It's in there if you look at the spreadsheet.
The guy, the man.
No, the Susan, her name.
No, I have Susan, but I was thinking there's another guy who runs it.
And the other thing I thought with, Vivian Moreno's office, each of these council members do their own newsletter. So if you could get her to commit to put something in their newsletter about it, that would be really great.
That's a great idea.
And it's a total target of obviously that region. So, and again, if she needs copy, we can provide copy.
Yeah, Thank you. That's a really good idea. Yeah, and I'll talk to her. I mean, my
Does she
big
have-
my big
does she have
ask right now is the
visuals?
most important one, but it's building that relationship. And
Does
Or
she
you
have,
could just,
does she have visuals in the newsletter or is it just print?
yeah, no,
they all have a couple of visuals.
Great.
And she might, if you just say, hey, just give me the name of your comms person, and Tony will talk to them. Take it off her plate, but yeah.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that's sort of what I have. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
I'll
questions?
know, I'll send an email to the artists that are attending and see, you don't want anything from them, right? You just want them to be
No,
present.
well, if there's 10 artists, we can introduce them, but they're not speaking.
Okay, yeah, because
But
they
if you
can
look
go
at-
on tangents on their own and talk
Yeah,
to
it takes, yeah. If you give them 3 minutes, they take 10. But if you look at the
Mhm.
doc on the page on tab 2 is RSVP, and just
Okay.
add and then say artists, so we'll sort it.
Okay, yeah. Great. Well, thank you. This is cool. So
Quick question, if it's all right, regarding, I guess what I'd call social media influencers. Do we want to invite any of them to the press preview? There's a couple people, I mean, it's not huge followings, but they're part of the film
Absolutely.
and
If
arts
you want to send
community.
me their email, or if you know them, I
Mhm.
could forward you what I've been using to invite people.
Yeah, that would be great.
Um,
I'd be happy to, I can pass that along.
Either way, I'll do that. That's awesome. Thank you. Yes, I think the influencers are, we can have 50 people there. We just don't right now. I will
Well,
send
it would
that.
be really cool to have, if there was an IG or a Facebook Live or some kind of follow-up post, that then we could even share, that.
But we'll do our own social, like, our
Mhm.
media kickoff, we do that, but I'd like other people to do it.
Mhm.
And then we give them the hashtag and the whatever, so I'll send all of you the media invite.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you could forward it to people. You may look at the list and see if people are already there. Don't send it to like Julia KPBS. Yeah.
Did you get a response from the San Diego Visual Art Network?
Patricia Fisher.
Yeah.
She can't come, but she loves the event.
Okay, good. Okay.
Can she send somebody in her place?
Lonnie's coming. Lonnie Hewitt writes a lot for her.
okay, so I'm looking now. So you have in attendance, you have San Diego Magazine, KPBS, La Jolla Light photographer, San Diego Tourism Authority. Oh, Edna's coming. Okay, great. Times of San Diego and Bob Lehman. Okay. And
what
and
about-
Lucia.
What
Lucia.
about the Union Tribune?
Well, they're not
That's the
sending
Union
anyone.
Trib. That Lucia Serrano Chavez.
Yeah, but we need the other side. We need the
Yes.
English speaking side.
Yeah.
I saw that Seth Combs had RSVP to Tuesday, but then he didn't come. So
Right.
I don't know if he
No,
was-
I'm not worried about the UT. Pam's very busy right now. She knows about it. She may or may not send anyone, but
Okay.
I'm confident we'll get what we deserve.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
To me,
thank you.
to me, that's a full page feature by Seth Combs or Pam Cragen in the Sunday before the event
Sure. On the cover.
on the cover.
No less. All right. So I want to
So-
share some visuals
One
here.
second. One second. Chai
Question?
Essary,
Go ahead.
Chai Essary is Patricia at San Diego Visual Art Network.
I know Chai.
Is her curator and administrator. And I don't know if she's on your list,
She's actually on our
Right.
board of directors. So she's
right? Okay.
so she's no longer involved with the San Diego Art Prize, Kai.
Okay.
But yeah, and I mean, all of our board is invited to the walkthrough, so she may or may not want to join, but she's opting out of the curatorial side and moving more into her own practice.
Okay.
So she's kind of
You know
abandoning
more
that
about
side
that
now.
than I do, but she is very connected to the Mexican ethnic community. And
Yeah.
I would think that she would be, a key invitee.
Okay, I'll mention it to her for sure. Hopefully she
So-
can join.
Have we been reaching out to the consul general to be involved?
So I don't really have a relationship with them. No, I haven't. The people that I've been involved with this is the folks from the city of Tijuana, and the excuse me, the Secretary of Tourism, Secretary of Culture, sorry, Secretary of Culture for the state of Baja California. They're the ones who helped translate the open call for us and posted it and tagged a bunch of artists. So thanks to them, that's why we have some Tijuana artists participating. And then they sent someone who represented the, híjole, I'm not going to remember all these acronyms. There's a bunch of acronyms for like the Tijuana Center for Culture. It's not the Secut, it's like the city's arts arm, you know.
Cultural artisan, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, they were in attendance on Tuesday. But you're thinking to invite them to the press preview? Is that what you mean?
I'm not sure exactly. I don't know that the press preview is the right thing for them, but I think just having sort of their presence might be a good thing. I feel like, you know, they're involved in Art Walk, and usually because they're involved in Art Walk, the Hispanic media wants to interview them, and so it just could be a good
I mean, I'd love an
diplomatic
introduction. If you have a relationship with them, I'd love an introduction, and I absolutely would love to have them be present on July 25th for our next preview event.
Yeah, I don't know how we would work them in, but I just think it'd be a good connection. I'll send you the.
Well, you know, there's still like I think there are ways. Like, for example, there are a lot of organizations that I reached out to very early on to be a part of this, and then they just couldn't respond right away. They were, you know, they're keep getting back to me, all these things. And now people are reaching out to me like, how can we be a part of this? And I'm like, well, for this year, it's a little too late because they're seeing the momentum, they're seeing the excitement. And so the way that I'm opening this up is that there's still opportunities for people to become sponsors of the existing featured artists or featured part, you know, of these artists. So for example, like Roxana Velasquez is someone who's very interested in having their logo on this somehow. And so she's thinking about sponsoring one of the artists. And so it could be individual artists sponsored by or with support from, you know, something like that. And so maybe the Mexican consulate, if they have a budget for marketing or something like that, might be interested in sponsoring one of the Tijuana artists, even in part, even if it's all it is in kind support with donating, you know, volunteers that they have or staff or somehow like supporting through in kind is still valuable, right? Yeah. We're going to need
they always tell us they have no money, but I just always feel like it's a good positive, you know, synergy with us.
Either way, I mean, just you're right, just bringing them into the fold and seeing maybe how they can, because maybe they can, for next year, they can have a, you know, their own booth like they do with you, you know. So there's a lot of opportunities. I'd love the introduction either way, even if it's just, hey, come be a part of this preview and let's get to know each other.
So there's so much art coming from that other side of the border. I think that
Yeah, definitely. So Juliana, can you give another push? When was the last time you sent an email?
To the press?
Yeah.
It was Tuesday.
Okay, so what do you think? Give it a few days or bug them again on, let's see, we're 2 weeks from the walkthrough. So maybe give them check in again on Monday, send them another on Monday, and then one more the following Monday after that. And just keep poking them until somebody says yes.
Sounds good.
Are you, I'm curious about the local TV media. I see KPBS on the list. What's the timing for outreach for the morning news shows?
Much closer to the
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want them to be filming a bunch of empty buildings, and I mean almost the week of.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. We are doing the arts brief with them.
Okay.
KPBS.
Yes. We've secured that.
Yeah, I was going to ask about, I don't know if this is the right time or not. I was going to ask about the ad budget and how, Tony, how you're coordinating that with.
I'm not coordinating anything that has money changing hands.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what the ad budget is.
No. We've set aside a budget for marketing, and that's sort of what I have to decide on. Sorry that my dog's going crazy down there. It is what it is. I'm not going to run down there and figure it out. It's probably some dumb cat or some whatever. I don't care. But anyway, we do have marketing money set aside. One is for social media, the other one is for print. And I have one of our interns, Mimi, is doing some research on various print publications that we talked about very early on in these meetings, like the performance magazine, you know, places like that. So we're getting quotes from all those people right now. And we'll nail that down really soon because they need longer lead time, obviously, and we're 3 months out. So probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a good sense of where we're going to spend our money. But what I want to share with you here is, you know, logistically, scheduling all these people in all these different sites, everything happening simultaneously was very complex kind of thing that had to happen, and it's done. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So you're the first to see this. So this is sort of the landing page for the schedule of events. People will, there will be a QR code that where you arrive here, and based on whatever time slot you happen to arrive in or you're looking for, you go into this spot, you click here, and then you start to see the things that are available to you. And all of these things, you can click into them and it takes you further into their main landing page that has more information with their social media handles, all live and all the things. So all of that takes you there. But if you continue scrolling here, you have the experience times, meaning something live is happening at that moment. For this one, for example, the steamroller actual activity is 6:30, 6 and 6:30. But then the works of art get peeled and then they get hung for viewing. So the viewing times are throughout the rest of the night, right? So that way you know that, oh, I want to see the actual thing happen. I want to see the steamrolling happening. Some of them are performances. We got 2 performance times, and then these links take you to an actual Google location, so that if you're on that corridor and you need directions, walking directions to that spot, to this spot, it'll walk you there, right? So all of them have that. Warhouse balcony stage. So that's the other thing I wanted to share with you, is that here's the Warhouse here, is that we've temporarily, because none of this is public yet, right? It's in our website, but it's hidden, very, very hidden. But all of these locations, we called them something. So for example, the Low High Courtyard, the Warhouse balcony stage, SD Custom Design Theater, Stay Classy Cinema and Gallery, the Soap Factory main stage, right? So they all have these little places that we've titled, and these are all the things happening at 6 o'clock. Some of them are visual art experiences, some of them are live, you know, performances.
This is amazing. I can't believe you accomplished that. Are you
I can't
able
either.
to
It was a lot.
add those? It's amazing. The map that I've seen, that is the corridor.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to update the map with these new stage names?
Yes, we will. So we're working on that right now. So we're working on the program. Our Mimi is our intern, is that's her big project, and I'm going to help her, you know, with all the design stuff. But right now, her main job is taking the content and putting it into the program. Now, this is the big question mark that I have, is we're printing 1,000 programs. But if we have 3,000 people, then the primary source is going to be this thing, this QR code that takes you to these places. And it has the information of the artist, it has everything you need, but then signage starts to get a little tricky. So there's going to be a, you know, large sign in front of each of those locations that have the program of events, the schedule of events for that location only at each of these sites. And there could be a grand master schedule of events type of thing, but very simple, not a lot of graphics, just state the facts, ma'am, type of thing, at the 2 entry points, the one near the Warhouse and the one at the Soap Factory. So that's kind of it. With
I would do the map.
Well,
One of the things
the map can tell you, you know, there's limited amount of space, so the map can tell you the names of each of the
Right,
locations.
that's what I'm saying. That's all, just that, so the names of the locations, not the programming.
Yes, and then each of these, so we've color coded it. So I'll share that with you.
Because the map is something I'd love to hand out at the press event.
Ah,
Or,
okay.
or at least have handy a couple of copies of it, so people could write on it. But it would
Okay.
just say Morehouse Stage, so San Diego Stage, whatever, just the venues.
Right, right. Hang on, I'll share it with you. So we've got this like color coded system here. So each of these locations has a color assigned to it. There's going to be, we're doing the circle element is a design element that's going to live throughout. So we've got a circle of each of those colors that's going to live next to each of the performances on the program. It's going to live on the website once we update that, that if you see blue, it means it's happening at the Warhouse. If you see pink, it means it's happening at the Design Theater, etc. So visually you can just go, oh, okay, it's in that pink thing. And then you look down the corridor as you're walking, you'll see a big pink circle that has the program inside of it. So we'll try to make it really obvious where you see the pink on the program or on your phone, and it's also on the building itself, so that it's, oh, I'm walking toward the red, or I'm walking toward the blue, or whatever it is. So this is where we're at right now. We're not, I've been trying to be really careful about this not looking like Pride, because I don't want to compete and make it feel like that's what it is at all. So we're not using the yellows. We kind of had to add this orangey thing, but so you'll notice that Soap Factory, 30th Street Lounge, and Lowhigh Courtyard are all the same color. And that's because they're all literally on the same region or block. So that's why that is that way, and they're not different colors. So we're really staying inside of this color family here, these like muted, a little bit more muted, colorful, but still muted kind of color family. We're not using yellow because then it really does bring it into like a full Pride flag. But I think if we stay here in these like juicy colors that are also live inside of our multicolor water stuff going on, then I think we'll be okay. So that's where we're at. So the map is going to look similar. If you can imagine it right now, it's not ready, but like it'll be a map, and then you'll have these circles that are all the same size in all these various colors, identifying the locations. So that's what that will look like.
I have a suggestion on when you took us to the page that is where people can click through to the Google map.
Yeah.
So we just have been doing something similar for our Little Italy event on our artist gallery. If you click on an artist, it shows you how to walk there. But we're finding that a lot of people just seem clueless about using that. So I would suggest, possibly if it's not a problem with your template, like where it says Warhouse Balcony Stage, put a physical address underneath, so that if people want to go old school and put in the address, it will walk them there.
Yes, except that not all of these have, well, all of them. Okay, so for example, you're in the corridor, right? The chalk walk.
Yeah.
But you may be taking over more than one address.
But that people will see it as they walk from one place to another. So I don't even
We
think
just find an address that.
but like the building, yeah,
and
or
then
the closest address or whatever. I just
Okay.
know that from trying to get people to use that Google Maps feature, I thought it would be so exciting for all of us. And people were literally complaining to our information booth that I don't understand how to do this. So
Maybe
okay.
if they're
I think the more,
maybe if they're not addresses, you could say the corner of, commercial and
yeah,
Yeah.
or between
Okay.
or something. Because I know
That's a
they're not all
suggestion.
gonna have addresses.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah. I think that's easy enough. I think that's easy enough.
Susanna, are you familiar with Google My Maps? Where you can kind of create your own map. We did this for the San Diego Media Pros studio map that we have on our website. I'll put a link in the chat.
Okay.
It basically narrows down a Google map to where we were able to put different dots at addresses that we wanted. And it might be perhaps a user-friendly feature for finding these various locations.
Okay,
So I'll
thank
send you
you.
a link. I did not make this map, but one of my colleagues did, so, or someone on your team may be familiar.
Okay, okay. And for the walkthrough on the 14th, we should have a visual then for you, ready to go. She's working
Yeah.
on it as we speak.
Yeah, definitely be helpful.
Okay, so good. I'm glad you, any other feedback on this? I'm glad you liked it, Tony. Anybody else
Looks
thoughts?
great.
Is this-
Great.
Thank you, because it took me forever.
I bet.
Sure.
Forever. All right, so that's all happening. Let me go back to my list here. Yes, the press release is all updated in Spanish. That final is in the press folder on Dropbox. You'll see it. It's called Comunicado de Prensa. So it'll be right next to your English press release. So that's ready to go. You saw that they're color coded. Schedule of events is now live. Okay.
Wait, is the schedule events live?
Well, it's live behind the scenes, but it's there.
Okay,
I'm
so
not gonna,
not live.
we're not gonna go live until, so that's what they're getting. They're getting to be
Right. They're
you
not
know,
going live till
first
after.
dibs on knowing where everything is happening. And even some of the
Susanna,
artists haven't been notified yet, so we'll let them know soon.
Susanna, I have a question in this, all this color coding that you're doing. How are you going to advertise sponsorships?
You mean on site or what?
On site, yeah.
On site. So there will be at each entry point, it'll be on that sign. Like on the schedule of events, you'll see all of the logos there associated with the different performances or experiences that are happening there.
Okay,
It'll
does it
be-
appear, will it appear in any of the written materials?
Yes, it'll be, of course, it'll be on the program. Yeah. And it'll
Okay.
be on the website really soon. Like we haven't done any of that yet. We got 3 sponsorships that night on Tuesday.
Right.
So I'm really excited about that. And then we
And
have,
it'll be in the FAQs. We'll add it.
yeah, and we're supposed to add some of them depending on their level of gift. Hopefully we get to that point. We want to include a mention in the press release as well. So we'll have to update the press release as those
Well,
start.
we're gonna send a new press release.
Yeah.
Once where that announces the schedule and
Yeah,
the locations and the names of the book, so we could shoot for doing that, late June.
yeah.
I wouldn't update the other press release. The press releases historically, that's what was sent. Except for the corrections. And I think we'll send a new one in the updated, here's 36 groups, 42 this, all the stats that I'm trying to gather.
Mhm.
And just, move on. So I wouldn't go back too much.
Okay, Juliana, can you get those stats for me? Can you take a look at how many arts organizations, how many artists, how many are from Tijuana versus San Diego? What are the other numbers you need?
They're in my FAQs. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember anything that we could come up with that's quantifiable.
I have it right here.
Somehow I lost the picture of all of you, but
How many groups from US? I think that was it. That's all that's all the questions you had.
however you want to break it down, this many visual arts, this many, oh, there it is. This many performing arts. I don't know. I mean, any makeup categories, but they love
Okay.
numbers. And the reason they love numbers is they'll do like a sidebar. I could see the UT going, here's the story, and then here's envision by the numbers.
Like how many dance companies, how many visual artists,
Yeah,
how many
break it
theater
down
companies,
however you want.
Multidisciplinary, etc. Okay, great. All right. I'm just looking at my notes here. So I saw that you had San Diego Magazine in attendance, and we spoke at one point about them doing in kind, where we would pay, I forget how much, and they required double of in kind visibility or something like that.
You didn't talk to me about that.
It's in our notes from a previous meeting, based on a relationship.
I'm sure it's a
About
different
in kind
division.
for San Diego Magazine.
I mean, I'm dealing with editorial, so I'm sure it's a whole different area of the magazine.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll reach out to him again. I think they have a great reach and it's definitely our audience. So I'd love to get them to give us some kind of in-kind support
Yeah, who were you talking to?
what's his name?
The owners?
The owner.
Like Troy
yeah, Troy.
yeah, no, I'm
He never
dealing with
gets back
that.
to
So,
anybody.
sorry?
He
What's that?
never gets back to anybody. I would
Yeah.
try Laura Hunter, the
Okay. Is
marketing
that his wife?
person. No, I would
Oh.
do Laura Hunter. She's the marketing person and she will respond to you.
Okay, thank you. I thought he was just ignoring me.
Yeah, yeah, I would
No.
keep it separate from what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's
Laura
just
Hunter.
Laura@stmag.com. Laura
Okay.
Hunter. She's super sweet.
Thank you. I'll reach out. I'll reach out because I did send him an email way back and followed
Last
up
year,
again. I got
emailed you
nothing.
no less than 10 times about the same topic, and I never got a single reply.
Oh my gosh, how funny. It's so funny.
I
so
mean, once
funny.
you get him in person, he's amazing and
I know,
bubbly
he's
and
great.
fun, but it's that he does not respond to people. Even his own staff says that.
Oh, how funny. Okay, so I'll reach out to Laura. Thank you for the tip. I will because now we're early enough that we can try to get some kind of relationship going. That's really all I have right now. I'm open to any thoughts, suggestions, questions. I really, you know, we've never attempted to get this level of, attendance. So it's certainly a reach and all of your expertise is so welcome. So just thank you for being here and thank you for making this happen. We're really grateful. It's so exciting. I'll just say I was a part of the I wasn't a part of it, but I attended the signing ceremony for World Design and it was just so cool to see this binational effort and how it really just is this once in a lifetime opportunity for all of us to shine in front of a world audience and how cool this is. And yes, this is just, the preview of next year's event, but the arts community is so excited and stepping up. And I think I told you that I was selected as the lead for the Design Action Network, which is selecting the legacy projects for arts and culture for WDC. And I saw Sandy, you're going to be on the committee. I don't know if they've told you yet.
Oh, well, I applied.
Oh.
I didn't know what happened.
Well, okay. So a lot of people don't know yet, I guess. We're going to be reaching out to you.
Congratulations.
Surprise. But we're going to be reaching out to everybody really soon. And the list of arts people that are on this committee is so cool. And I'm just thrilled that this is all coming together. So thank you all for being a part of this. Really.
I just got a text that applies to this if you're interested. I would think a prime time to be selling tickets would be during Art Walk Liberty Station, which is August 5 and 6.
Okay.
And we are okay trading a booth if you would like to man it, but we would ask that you have some sort of interactive art activity. Otherwise, you'll just be sitting at a table.
Yeah. Let me
So
take a look at August 5th real quick. I just want to make sure I don't want to commit unless.
And we're also doing a preview party on Friday night.
Oh.
So we'll be actually a 3-day event. So if you're interested, we'll set aside a booth for you. We're super sold out. So
maybe we could share a booth with somebody that's related so that it's not so staff intensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
One of the artists, yeah.
The hours are 10 to 6 so on Friday they are 4 to 8, and that's the preview party, which is a ticketed event. On Saturday and Sunday, it's 10 to 6 Saturday and 10 to 5 Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot. It's a great
lot.
offer, but I can't imagine, Susanna, maybe I'm speaking for you, I'm sorry.
We just don't have the staff. We don't have the staff. Simply.
I figured that could
but
be an issue,
I do like the idea of maybe just putting it out there to the artists. We've done Art Walk and like super programmed it and all of that. But
I just think you'd probably sell some tickets there, because I know like the Symphony, Broadway, San Diego, people like that are literally there to sell tickets, saying that they sell a lot because it's the audience that's interested in things like this. So
yeah, absolutely.
if you get a crew together and you want it, the author's there. We just need to know pretty soon.
Okay. How soon?
Let's say 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, give me 2 weeks. I'll definitely.
I know staffing is super hard, but
It is, because there's only one staff member. The rest are all volunteers. But the artists, like you mentioned, Natalie, who I introduced you to, I mean, that's an art activity that's taking place at, ENVZN. So maybe we can do a series of those types of folks who are doing, interactive things that maybe want to have
QR code. So
something like that. Okay, let me think on it. Thank you so much. That's a great
yeah, no
opportunity.
problem.
Yeah, Tony, I have a question about San Diego Magazine.
Uh-huh.
They usually work 3 months in advance, and this is already the middle of June. So are we going to be able to meet their deadline for their September issue?
That's a good question. What are
They're
we in
working on
June?
September right now.
Well, September is a little late.
Well, we
It
we
would
need
have to be
August.
the August.
In August, so that's only 2 months.
All right, it's good. Let
But
me
if
give her
you
a
can
call.
only get into September, I've been getting my San Diego Magazine like 10 days at least before the end of the month.
Yeah, me
This
too.
August, I still think you're okay for September.
Right,
September,
I
I was
will-
thinking September, yeah. I usually get it 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And they might just say, we're just gonna do some social for now. I'll reach out. That's a good reminder. Thanks.
Jane, you had something?
Do you need some help on the 14th?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And you're all welcome to join us on the 14th if that sounds, well, I think you're already coming, right, Sandy, as an artist,
I'm going to try to come on the 14th. I have some conflicts that day.
okay.
So
Okay. Any other thoughts, questions, suggestions, ideas? No. Okay. Please send anything my way if you feel like we forgot to mention. And thank you for this tip. I'm opening up right now for the Google.
Yeah, take a look at it. We put it together specifically to put key locations onto a
Yeah.
local map.
That's going to be the key on this, is that even inside of one of the buildings, there's 2 things happening simultaneously. So, oh, and then last thing, actually, I should ask, and this is more for our logistics team, but if you have access to a volunteer force that might be interested in volunteering for this, we'd so appreciate your help with that. I sent out a call for the July 25th event and September 2nd for volunteers, which we'll need lots of people for. And I partnered, I'm working with San Diego Comic-Con Museum. Their volunteer coordinator actually coordinates the volunteer coordinators for all the museums in Balboa Park. And they have like monthly meetings or something. So she's helping me distribute that out to them as well. But if you know of a good place where I could forward a volunteer call, I'd appreciate that.
yeah,
And
but are you using some kind of program like?
yeah,
Send
I was going to pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Volunteer opportunities available for, here it is. So I'm going to drop this in the chat right now.
I could promote that to the film and media community.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. And, specifically film and theater, like put them in the areas where they're passionate, right? So if they just want to man the cinema all night long, that would be a great place for them, right? They get to watch movies all night.
Yep.
Have fun. Or if they're very visual arts people, or if they're fashion people, whatever, right? So we put them in the spots where they're most passionate. That's the docs right there. I just put it in the chat. All right, ladies, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Great work.
Thank you, yes.
Thank
It's
you.
coming together. Have a good rest of your morning.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.